Hi everybody, this is Joe. I'm here to do a video on narcissistic personality disorder. And in this video, I'm going to be mentioning something as far as that I feel that people need to be much more aware of when they are having any type of affiliation or any type of interaction with these certain type of individuals. And that is how the narcissist is studying you or reading you. So one thing about a narcissist is that in a narcissist mindset, they got to be a step ahead of people. A narcissist, they feel more of them being in control and more in advantage over other people as far as them feeling like they got to be a step ahead. So this what gives them the advantage over whoever they are dealing with. So a narcissist, they got to know your weaknesses. They got to know what makes you happy. They got to know what makes you sad, because they gather enough information to get you under their control. Narcissists, they get with people and they come across people dealing with their situation. So whatever their situation is, that's the source of narcissistic supply they're going to search for. So it's more of them trying to survive if it's a situation they in, if they're struggling, or if it's something that they're in emotionally, or whatever the case may be with the narcissist. So they could pick up on people energies, and they could sense on who genuine, who kind. So what happened is that they target you and they see you because majority of the time when you was talking to them, they could already pick up that you're that person that they could work with. You're that person who giving, you that loving person, you that person who got compassion, you that person who show concern. And these are the type of individuals that the narcissists target. They target these particular type of people. So when you're sitting back talking to these people, or hanging out with these people, or having any type of affiliation with these people, what they're doing is that when you're having a conversation with, they're all ears. They're listening to everything you're talking about. You probably come across the two different types. You'll come across the type that they're all ears, so they're listening to you, so they actually hearing everything you're saying. And you have the other one where they're not even hearing you. You're supposed to be the listener. You only speak when spoken to. So these are individuals you can't get not even one word out, or you'll take notice of no matter what you're saying to them. You can't get a full sentence out, or if they come back to reply back to you, it really don't have anything to do with what you had talked about or what you probably said to them. They kind of switch the subject, or they kind of talk about something on in a different matter of where you trying to get at. So you have them type. So the ones that all ears, when they sit down, when they listening to you, they're observing your body language. A narcissist is very good at reading body language. So they could tell when you're nervous. They could tell when you're excited. It's almost like you could pretty much sense, as far as it's like they could sense how you feeling. They could sense what you are feeling, what you are thinking when you react to them, or when you conversate to them, or when you respond to them. So they channel in on this. They gathering up information about you. And some narcissists, when you come across these type of people, even if they're toxic people, they have this tendency to underestimate you. And what this means is that they could categorize you. This most definitely could go to the toxic individual, the narcissists who have a judgmental mindset. These are the ones where you probably, we'd say, for example, you probably coming out of a relationship, or you probably talking about something that probably made you upset, or whatever the case may be in your situation. You telling them about this, and instead of really listening to you, and they really try, like relating to what happened to you, as far as where you're coming from, or what you're trying to address to them as far as your situation. They actually looking at you, and they're really looking at your emotional reaction. This could be your tone of how you say your words, your body language, and the way the way you expressing yourself. This is what they really looking at. And they will put you in a category very quick as far as you being broken, or you probably not as strong. You probably, they will put you in a category that you're probably weak. So they won't say anything to you. And remember, with these type of individuals, that they are very good actor and good actress. So they'll go along with your story. They will act like they will have empathy or sympathy about your situation, which anyone know when they're dealing with a narcissist that they really don't show no empathy. They lack it. They lack empathy and sympathy. But they'll go along with your story. So yeah, they will come off that they have your best interest in heart, but they're in their mind, they're really thinking something totally different. And this the part where they'll latch out on you in the middle of you already got with them, or you probably linked up with them as friends or whatever. And that's when how they really feel about you, or whatever it is they judge about you, that's when it comes out. And what they actually do too, sometimes they will go and they'll search on your social media. They'll like to see posts, what you post up, pictures, and what your post is about. So they what they are doing when they do this, they trying to fill you out. They trying to see what your lifestyle is like, what you talk about. They trying to find like your common ground of your personality. Because most of the time, people when people on Facebook, they post about what's going on in their lives, and they post up pictures about what they're doing. So the narcissist, that's what they studying about you. And one thing you gotta keep in mind when you're dealing with a narcissist or toxic individuals is that they really don't care about you. They really not learning you. They not learning you, or they don't care about your personality. They could care less about that. They're really studying you. They got to know what you react to, and they got to know how you're going to respond. So a lot of times they test you. They ask you certain questions, so they could find out certain information. And once you respond to a certain question, or once you answer, depending on what the question is and however you answer, or whatever answer you give to them, they already store that information up already. So sometimes what they'll do, they'll mirror that back to you. So this the part where you'll notice that both of y'all have the same interests and everything, and everything you like to do, they like to do. Everything that you don't like, they don't like. So they agreeing with everything that you saying, and they disagreeing with everything that you disagree with too, or saying. This how it usually starts. And other things that they do too with a narcissist on how they're studying you, they pay close attention to when you're around other people. So they see how you carry yourself in conversation. They see what type of friends you have. And they see what type of relationship you have with your friends and family. So if you have if you don't have a good relationship with certain family members like your mom, your dad, your sister, brother or cousin or whoever, your kids or whoever it may be, they set back and they studying the dispute that you have. And so this is where they learning your weaknesses. So they picking up on a lot of things as far as the individual that you don't have a good relationship with. They more looking at what it is that they don't like about you, or what is it that this person clashing with. So the narcissist studying this, we're gonna say, for example, we're gonna say if you have a dispute with your friend, y'all don't have a good relationship. So you go back and tell the narcissist about whatever your problem is. They're listening to what your problem is, but they actually putting it into perspective as far as whatever this problem is a weakness. So they seeing this right here, this what triggers you, or this what gets you down. So this is something else that they put under their belt to use later on down the line against you. And if you're around your friend or whatever, and they listening to both of y'all talking to each other, conversating with each other, they also studying your friend. They seeing what it is that your friend don't like about you, or whatever problem they have of you. The narcissist will kind of tone in, and they will kind of like relate to your friend. So say, like, for example, your friend tell you that you always late picking them up. And it could be a legitimate reason why you're late. You probably, you probably have to pick up the kids from school, or, traffic could happen. It could be anything, The narcissists, they really won't listen to that. They really don't care about that. What they'll do, they'll listen to your friend, and they will actually calculate in their mind that you're not liable. And they will use that against you. So this the upper hand that they will absorb. And you'll notice when you're dealing with a narcissist, like this example I just mentioned, you'll start noticing that if they ask you for a ride, or they need you to pick something up from the store, before you even had any type of experience with them, they're already coming at you like, you're going to make it there on time, right? Or don't be late. Or you remember they close at 8 o'clock, or they open at 8. I got to have this. You'll notice in that example how they'll come at you. This come from them studying your friend. So this is ways where they kind of downplay you. So they looking at you from a negative perspective, and you getting the feeling that you always trying to defend yourself. So you catching yourself doing the explaining game to them. You always explaining yourself, and no matter how much you explain yourself to them, you'll take notice is that it's like it go through one ear out the other. They really not really hearing you. They really not listening to you. Because the narcissists, they tunnel vision, they so firm-minded. Whatever they think of you, they stuck with that thought. That's the thought they stand firm with. You can't convince them of anything else. So even if you prove yourself out of, we're going to say 10 times, you done did everything right out of them. You did everything right. We're going to say 9 times. Even if it's 8, you did them right 8 times out of 10. That one thing or two thing that you did wrong, they will actually throw all them times that you actually did something right. They will throw all that under the bus, and they will hang on to that one thing or them 2 things as if you never even did them 8 things for them. So this is how they think. This is how they think. And this is where you catching yourself, you feeling like you're being downplayed. You're feeling like you're being overlooked. No matter how much you proven to them, they still going back on old stuff, or they still going back on that one mistake. And the narcissists, they're sitting back. They got to know what advantages they have over you. So what they do, they try to find out things that you are good at and things that you are not good at. They trying to find out things that they can do better than you, or what they know more than you. So these are people who will take things out of proportion. So say like if it was an answer to a question and they got that question right and you didn't, you probably take notice that they will go 100 miles with that situation, as far as they'll rub it in your face. So this happened for 2 reasons. One of them is because the narcissist is so boastful about themselves. They gotta feel a sense of importance. They gotta feel as if they superior. And another one is to downplay you, so they have their way of manipulating you. And it's like a shame tactic. It's like one of their shaming tactics that they do is to kind of backhand shame you about you got the question wrong. And, they in so many ways, underhand, undercover, they will make you feel a certain type of way about it. And you can kind of pick this up. They kind of show it in a way where it's undercover, where it won't be so obvious, but you could pretty much pick up on what state of mind they in, or where they coming from when they do this to you. And this right here will give them a sense of being superior. They got to feel superior over you. So this is why most of the time they exploit your weaknesses to you. And this is the main thing that they trying to target about you. So especially if you reaching out to them, like some of y'all probably telling them about your past relationships, y'all situation on how you and your ex broke up, or the things that you went through, or how they done you, or how they treat you. They actually looking at, they really in that state of mind where they wondering about your ex. They really looking at your ex as they're the victim and you could be the suspect, or the ex had one over you. You gotta keep in mind with one thing about the narcissist, that the narcissists, they it's like second nature to them to exploit you. So that being said, as far as them exploiting you, so anything that you explain to them, especially if it's something on a sensitive level, they will look at some type of weakness about you. And most of the time that this will show by the way they react to you, or the way they respond to you. You could be, we'll say for example that you had a dog, or you had a pet and you had to sell it, or you had to get rid of the pet, and you was kind of you kind of feel a certain type of way about that. You was feeling a little emotional about it because that pet was your best friend. That was like everything that you had. You kind of explain this to the narcissist. You kind of express this to the narcissist. Instead of the narcissist listening to you and they relating to your situation with empathy, as far as like, wow, okay, I know that's probably was hard on you, or I know that was a little harsh for you to go through something like that. instead of them really feeling that way, they're really looking at you from a emotional perspective. They're looking at you really like you wearing your feelings on your sleeve. Crazy to say, but this is how it really is with these type of individuals. So we're gonna say that you told the narcissist that, and you probably turn on the TV, you and the narcissist, y'all start watching TV, and then you see a commercial come on where it say support these animals, they getting abused, and send us a donation, whatever. You're not thinking nothing of it, it's just a commercial. The narcissist probably will turn around and they'll be like, oh, I know this probably hard watching this commercial and patting you on your back. They more like babying you about it. So I know some of y'all probably experienced something similar to that example I just gave you, but this is how you could tell as far as what they really thinking. It's like, their ways and their ammo of things is really telling on themselves. So this is what I mean by, this is how the narcissists or toxic people, this is how they're studying you. So if it's anything about you, you probably sit down, you could talk about you as far as your personality, how you became who you are, how you start liking your habits, and how you met your friends. They really could care less about that. A normal person, when they listen to that, you probably will bond a relationship with that person, because now they see the type of person you are. They see the value in you. They see the light in you. The narcissists, they won't see that. They're really listening to your habits or who you are. What they really hearing, the translated to you, they really hearing your habits, or they really hearing about your personality, and they categorizing your personality. Either you're this type or that type, or you this or you that. It's not like, man, you know what, Bob, that's a good guy. Bob, he a good friend. They don't more have they don't more have that type of mindset. They don't really think that way. You either in this category, as far as it could be the sensitive. We gonna say this for example. You could be just a sentimental type, or you could be kind of broken or fragile in this area. They categorize you, and you'll notice when they reply back to you, or they try to, they respond back to you as far as their thoughts of you, as far as your character. You notice they have this fragile state of mind about you, like you either fragile, or they kind of take whatever they think of you out of proportion, and it makes you feel as if they labeling you someone that you're not. This what narcissists usually do. This what they usually do when they interact with you. So because they're incapable of really connecting to people. That's why they're like this. If anyone don't understand why they think this way, they can't help it. Because a narcissist, one thing to understand about a narcissist, these people, they are like in survival mode. So people to them are nothing but tools and resources. That's why whenever you get in relationships with narcissists, they don't seem to have a connection with you. They don't seem like they're bonded with you. That's because you're more of a resource. They see you as a tool. So if they in a situation where they need finances, or if they need some type of sympathy or whatever, and if you suit that situation, that's what they get with you for. That's all they see. Nothing more, nothing less. So there's ways of you to protect yourself from these type of individuals when they studying you. So if anyone who probably came across a situation like this, and someone maybe in a situation like this, You may be wondering what to do if you do run across a situation like this. First thing to do is, most of them, like I said before in some of my videos, is that have self-awareness. Be aware of yourself. You want to be more aware of yourself and your own energy. Because once you're aware of yourself, you will most likely know what other people, especially these toxic individuals, what they're picking up from you and how they're viewing you, how you coming off to them. So that's one of the things you want to have, is self-awareness. Another one is pay attention to their body language. Pay attention to their energy of words. Sometimes they could say things, they could be so convincing. And if you run across the ones that are convincing and they sound convinced, most likely later on down the line their action will line up. You'll probably start taking notice of they're not actually doing, or they're not showing you what they are saying or expressing. Pay more attention to their actions. And keep in mind, they are very good liars too. So they're very good at manipulating people as far as convincing them and brainwashing them and gaslighting. They'll gaslight you as far as whatever you see, whatever you think is not really the way it is. So, kind of be on the lookout for that, because they will try to brainwash you, or they'll make you feel like you're crazy, or they'll try to make you feel like you overanalyze things, or you thinking too much. This is one of the number one tactics and tools on their table that they use against you. So whatever that feeling is what you picking up on, even if you can't really put your finger on it, if you feeling that, most likely 8, 9 out of 10, something is wrong. There's something about this person that maybe not right, or if something that don't sit right with them. 8 or 9 out of 10, you on to something. You probably just can't figure it out. So once you get to this point with them, you want to put everything on hold. You kind of want to you don't want to put your best foot out there as far as sharing information or doing certain things around them. Because even if you just go as far as you could play a video game around them or watch a movie, they actually observing you. They learning you and they're observing you. And some of these things could be bad in the long run, because they'll use this against you. And what they'll do, they exploit you for your character, or they will downplay you. And sometimes what they'll do the triangular thing with you, because all the things they study. So for those who don't know what the triangling thing with a narcissist, that's when they try to compare you with somebody else. It's always that middleman that you're competing with. They're always dealing with that middleman. So you be in a situation where you feel as if other people could do it better than you, or their attention is more on other people, making you feel in a sense that you're being overlooked, or you being downplayed, or you being undermined. This is because all the stuff that they study about you, and you probably gonna take notice of some traits, is that when you're talking to them, or when you try to, you're trying to get a point across to them, that if it's on something that they misjudge about you, they really not listening. You kind of feel and sense that you're not being heard. And the reason why is this, in case someone is in that situation or having this happening to them, it's because in their mind, they feel that they have you figured out. So no matter what you telling them, no matter what you saying to them, in their mind, they got you figured out. So now their interest level is down. And these are individuals that get bored very quick. So if you finding yourself around someone, it could be anything. Y'all probably go out places, or you probably have conversations. If you catching them being dull about something, or they get bored very easily, you notice yourself have to entertain them all the time, and they still not satisfied, or they probably have a complaint about you, or you're not exciting or whatever, be suspicious of that. You kind of want to red flag that, because these are the type of individuals that you get with them or you have any type of interaction with them or relationship, most likely these are type of people who will venture outside the relationship. They will cheat on you, or you'll start noticing that they putting everybody before you. They're throwing you off on the back burner because they ain't getting that dopamine from you like they will get from other people. So if you're dealing with someone like that, what you want to do, you want to fall back. If you texting them all the time, lay off your text messages, or if you calling them, lay off on calling them. You want to kind of withdraw your attention from them. And sometimes this will put them in a narcissistic injury, as far as it will make them baffled about their situation with you. Because one thing to keep in mind with a narcissist is that a narcissist is very arrogant about their situation. So once they feel like they got you, they're so vain about themselves and so caught up with themselves that they will feel and think that you need them or you can't do without them. So stop giving them compliments. Stop complimenting them on a lot of things, whatever. If they good at, we're going to say, artwork, or if they good with stuff that they do, or if they look nice, or they got good taste or something, you want to stop saying these things to them. Because what happened is that they will more likely will be in their judgmental mindset, and they'll categorize you. So now they can make mockery of you, and they could tease you with this. You would kind of feel like they're mocking you, or they will think of you being obsessed with them, and they kind of go back and doing this smear campaign behind your back, giving people the wrong ideal about you. And you have some narcissists with this personality disorder, as far as they go back and they feeling as if you're obsessed with them, and they misinterpreting you. They having a misperception of you. So be careful of these things. So just be much more aware when people are observing you. You want to watch what type of information you're giving them. And there are ways and signs that you can pick up on these individuals. That may be another story in another video, as far as what to observe, as far as paying attention to, their conversation, pay attention to their body language, and always pay attention to their patterns, as far as how they respond to you and how they reply back to you. Them the things you more want to be alert. So hopefully this video to help someone out. I could have said a lot more in this video, but I didn't want to make this video too long. So remember, people, to keep your heart shielded and keep your minds protected. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day.